Hey guys, welcome back! It's me, Winter here, and this time I have questions you guys asked me. A few weeks ago, I asked if you guys had any questions, and I didn't think to write them down, and the post was buried into a void, never to be seen again. So I had to re ask, and this time I copied them down into my phone, and so yeah, let's get started. Let me find it. Okay. So, first question is there a fashion choice you've made that you totally regret? Yeah. Probably my entire high school fashion life. I was really into the scene, the scene hair, or I didn't really have scene hair, but like the scene style and the whole emo thing. And I tried really hard to be, goth, but I really wasn't, and it was really bad. And maybe I'll post a picture of me from those dark years, but I just regret the whole thing, and I look back and I'm like, why did I think that was okay? Just, somebody should have taught me how to do my eyeliner. So yeah. Anyway, the next question is, how do you go about planning for cons and cosplays? I don't. I don't know how to plan to save my life, but I'm trying to get better. I'm learning from my other friends who are cosplayers. And what they seem to do is they have notebooks, or they'll break things down, which I'm really trying to get better at and stay organized. Organization is a flaw. I don't know how to organize, but I am slowly learning. For cons, I try to have a list of the cons that are most important to me and the ones I need, maybe save up for and work toward. So yeah, that is all a work in progress, and I hope I'm getting better at it. Alright, next question. Is there a character you would never want to cosplay, and if so, why? So I kind of thought about this, and I didn't really know how to answer it, because if there's a character I really don't care about, I just don't pay attention to them in a way, I guess. But like the one character that came to mind was Sailor Chibi Moon from Sailor Moon, and I don't really have a problem with Sailor Chibi Moon. I know she gets a lot of hate, but I look at her as just this little kid. But I wouldn't really cosplay her because she's probably my least favorite Sailor Scout. And also, I'm really tall and she's really little. And I know, like, there's no body. You can cosplay whoever you want, but for me personally, I would just feel silly cosplaying her. And again, I just don't really care about her. Another one would probably be Sailor Jupiter. Again, it's just not a Sailor Scout I particularly care for, but they're both great characters in their own right, just not my favorite. Alright, next one. Where do you make or buy your costumes for cosplay? So, it depends. If I'm not making the cosplay, the only website I've bought from that I can think of. Well, okay, I've bought from Amazon. Like, I bought my Sailor Neptune and my Sailor Uranus, Sailor Fuku's from there. But I've also bought from Easy Cosplay, which I did a whole review on them with my Sailor or my Haruka school uniform. But I've also pieced together things from Amazon. I've done things from thrift stores. Any way I needed it. Like my entire Bunny Bulma cosplay was entirely from Amazon, with the exception of the wig, which was from Epic. And the shoes were from Amazon too. So yeah, the bunny suit, the neck and wrist things, the shoes and the tights, the ears, they were all from Amazon. I've also done thrift stores. Like, I think I did Android 18 a few years ago, which so needs to be redone, but I think that entire outfit was all thrift store. So it really just depends. And if I'm making it, well, unfortunately, the only option we have is Joann's. So that's like our only place. But I'm currently working on Utena. So I have everything I bought for her jacket is all from Joann's. And then I did buy the shorts from Amazon, which were just red leggings, and I cut them, and because if it's less effort for me, I'm probably gonna do it. But then, like, I got the buttons from like an Army Navy store because to me they look like military style buttons. So yeah, it just really depends on the resources I have and if I'm actually making or buying it. It all depends. But my wigs, I've bought from Arda recently, which I now know the amazing. Like, I know why Arda is so recommended. Like, that Utena wig and my new Haruka wig is so soft and so nice. I've also bought from Epic, which I really like because their shipping is super fast. And I bought from like Amazon and eBay. So it just depends. My next question is, what nationality do people guess you are based only on your appearance? So I get Scandinavian a lot. Well, I guess Finnish, which is not technically Scandinavia, but I get either Scandinavia or Finnish a lot. I think it's because I'm tall and I'm blonde. And also, I like a lot of bands from Finland. So I talk about that a lot. And so I think for a while, I actually had a lot of people thought, oh, I thought you were from or you had Finnish descent. No, I'm not Finnish at all. I don't think I'm even Scandinavian in my bloodline. But people just, that's what they guess. I don't know. But I'm not. As far as I know, I have none of that in my genealogy. My next question is, who has been a major influencer in your life? So I really thought about this, and I really didn't know how to answer because I get influenced by so many people daily, by my friends, by my family. I know that's really probably cliche and kind of mushy or whatever, but it's true. I have so many amazing friends and family who inspire me daily. But if it were like a celebrity, it would probably be David Bowie because I've loved him since I was like 12 years old, and he inspired a lot of my art, a lot of just being myself, getting out there type thing. And I still love him this many years later. So it's probably who I can think of. But if I ever want to answer that question again, I have a different answer, I'll let you know. My next question is, where do you buy your makeup and what brands do you use? So I use a lot of drugstore brands, mostly e.l.f. because it's cheap, and I try my best to use cruelty-free brands, and well, they do both that. So does Wet n Wild. I also have a few things from like Kat Von D, and so it's normally drugstore brands, but if it's like a gift or if I have some extra money, I will go buy things like Kat Von D. Just cut. I would like to start getting like more not drugstore makeup, but that's probably later down. Next question. Favorite aesthetics and how you work them into your style, and which anime influences your style? So my favorite aesthetics, I really like pastels, even though I don't dress it too much, but like pastels, pastel goth, regular goth. I really love androgynous looks, which is why I've done a couple of photo shoots like that, and I love cosplaying androgynous characters. But I also love really girly things. I even love the Lolita style. And I have a couple of Lolita skirts, but it's not a lot of fashion I'm dedicated to. But animes, the ones that come to mind, of course, Sailor Moon, because every 90s child almost loves Sailor Moon, and let's talk about the aesthetics. They're beautiful, and they're 90s, and it's so girly and cute, and I don't know any female anime fan who doesn't at least appreciate the aesthetics of Sailor Moon. Also Nana, if you've ever heard the series Nana, it's really good. I love both of them, both Nanas, and I think Nana Asaki, her punk style, it really influenced me, especially as a teenager, because I even had like the short black bob that she wears for a little while. It didn't look good on me, but I had it, and I just really love her style, especially. which also brings me to Paradise Kiss, if you've ever seen it, which is made by the same creator. That whole show is beautiful of style and fashion. I mean, the whole show is about fashion and modeling, but I think that's actually really inspired me. I think in classic shoujo anime, I love shoujo from the 70s to the 90s, that whole few decades, like Rose of Versailles and the ones I've mentioned. They're just so pretty, and I try to emulate that on days I actually do dress up. And I don't know if I achieve it, but I try. Okay, my next question. All right, I was told to rank Vampira, Morticia Addams, Lily Monster, Vampirella, and Elvira. I do love all these women. They are wonderful. But my number one is going to be Elvira, and it will always be Elvira because I love her. I love her character. I love the actual actress. She's just amazing. She still goes out and acts as Elvira in her 60s, and that's total goals right there. But after that, it'd be Lily Munster because I grew up with the Munsters more so than actually the Addams family, and I always thought it was so cute how Lily Munster was like this housewife, and she still had that whole spooky thing going on. I don't know. I just thought she was just so precious. After that, probably Vampirella. I don't know too much about Vampirella. I have a few of her comic books, but she's really cool, and I could never cosplay her, but she's really awesome. And probably Morticia, only because I'm not a huge fan of the Addams family. I'm sorry, I know, but she's okay. I prefer the classic one from the 60s. Again, probably because I grew up with that one more so than like the 90s movies, because as a kid my dad watched a lot of like old TV shows from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and that's just what I grew up with, even though he was like more in the 60s. My next question: when you were a kid, where did you think you would be when you grew up? I know this sounds cliche, but I honestly thought I would be in Japan. I remember at 10, 11, 12 years old, I had I thought I would be in Japan. I thought I would be living it up there, doing something. I don't know what my little kid mind thought I was going to be doing, but it was either going to be that, or I thought I was going to have an apartment in New York City. It didn't happen that way, but that's okay. Life changes. But maybe I'll visit Japan one day. Next question. Let's see. Sorry, I think I double pasted. Yeah, I double pasted a couple of questions. I have to go through these. I got asked, what is my favorite non-Disney princess? Easy. Thumbelina and Princess Odette from The Swan Princess. Because as a kid, I watched that Thumbelina VHS to death. I'm surprised it would even still work. I don't think I have it anymore. I think I actually recently just got rid of like 90% of my VHS tapes just because they're filling up space in our apartment. But I love Thumbelina so much. It's probably, after Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid, is probably the one VHS tape I just watched over and over and over again. I could probably still sing all the songs. And actually, now that I think about it, I would love to cosplay her just because she's just so precious. And I really love Hans Christian Andersen as an author. He's probably one of my favorite authors, actually, because he did that in The Little Mermaids. And those are just two stories I've always really loved. And after that, it was Princess Odette from The Swan Princess, just because I thought that movie was so pretty as a kid. It was just such a lovely movie, and I need to go rewatch these movies now. I need to find DVDs or Blu-rays or something of them. Let's see, my next one is... Sorry, time to scroll through again. So... one friend was actually asking how much is bought and versus how much is crafted in cosplay. I think she was asking for all cosplayers, so but this is something it's up to the individual cosplayer. Some cosplayers only make all their stuff, some only buy. So I actually have a friend who she'll go into thrift stores and just DIY it and all, which is totally cool. All cosplayers are different and all cosplayers are valid. For me, I've done it all. I haven't really made too many of my cosplays. I'll admit that because I have no shame in it. I'm still new at sewing. I haven't really touched a sewing machine in 2 years until I started making Utena. I've bought like I've said before, I've bought a few of mine, and I've pieced together others, like as I mentioned before. So it really, for me, it really depends on my time crunch, how dedicated I am to how, I won't say how dedicated, because I mean, I'm dedicated to all my cosplays, but how much time I have. Or if it's above my ability. Like, I really want to cosplay Lady Oscar from Rose of Versailles because I love her. But that's way, way out of my league. I'm not saying I can't do it because I'm pretty sure I could, but I might either commission someone or buy it and then maybe at a later date make it. And I plan to do that with Sailor Uranus too. I bought mine from Amazon, but I plan to maybe eventually make the Fuku and everything. So it just really depends on all those aspects, I guess. So my next question is, okay, this is actually my last question. What is something really difficult that you faced and overcame? Well, not to get too deep, but one that I think is actually really important, and I'm going to mention, is getting myself out there as a cosplayer, a model, and now I'm doing YouTube. And you might think, oh, that's not so hard. Just, anybody can make a YouTube account. Anybody can, make an Instagram. And yeah, that's true. I've had an Instagram for, 3 years now. But as someone who suffers from severe anxiety, especially social anxiety, it's really hard. I guess we all fear rejection as a human race, and some of us more so than others. But it's for anyone who can get themselves out there where anybody can critique you, anybody can be, we live in a culture where you post your image on Twitter or Instagram and somebody can just tear you down just because they wanted to. And so to put yourself out there like that, it's actually really brave. So I don't respect anybody who does that. And for me to do that, I've wanted to actually make a YouTube channel, I don't know how long, maybe a couple of years. And I bought this camera I'm using about a year or two ago to do all this and to do Twitch, which I'm eventually going to be doing too. But I always let my anxiety get the best of me. And this time, recently, I said, this is enough, you can't live your life in fear. And if this is something I really wanted to do, and it is, I'm going to do it. And here I am. Well, I think that's all the questions I had. I'm probably going to do another one of these eventually soon, and I'll post it on my Twitter. So I'll have my links of my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook. Just, hit follow, like, or whatever on there. And, of course, comments and subscribes are always very appreciated on this channel. Thanks for listening to me babble on about questions. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.